So the real trick is to bend the note up on the 15th. Once you get it into pitch, then put the vibrato on in. It's usually a deal clincher. So let's say your blues vibratos then. We'll have one at a time. So, alright, Seb, you can go first then. Oh no, come on, you gotta do better. Bend the note up to pitch. You're gonna get it up to pitch. And then a little bit wobbly, come on.
Oh, I've got some hench.
Try and bend upwards then. A little bit there. This is what we got. So I know this is that. We caught him out.
He's got 12s on.
Played his due to the blues, isn't it?
No, I haven't really. I only started playing it this year.
Okay, well if you notice a lot of blues guitar players, without the vibrato he's going to sound like this. With it, well, it's a world of difference, isn't there, really? Yeah. And it's some people say, oh, the second one sounds pro or whatever, and it is the vibrato, and it's the most difficult thing to master on the instrument. Give us your best blues vibrato then. Bend me a note up. Now hit. Oh, yeah, come on, let's have a bit more than that. And proper. Yeah, make us cry with it. Okay, that's very fast. We can try and slow it down to so you've got like a. Yeah. That's better, isn't it? Yeah. The first finger vibrato was good again, and again on that first finger vibrato.
I'll keep doing it.
Yeah, that's good. First finger vibrato's good. Will, let's have that vibrato.
Oh dear.
That's all right, actually. I don't know your name, but
You can learn, mate.
first finger vibrato on your
First finger.
Oh, sorry, third finger. Okay, really important tip here, guys. When you're playing it, 2 fingers or 3 fingers behind. So this is probably one of the most important techniques to nail.
Yeah.
Because it's your idea. I mean, when you finish a note, you go. That's making all the difference in the sound. Without it, it's. That's with it, and you can hear the difference is really immense. So vibrato, you can usually tell how long somebody's been playing by the vibrato, and the most difficult thing is to do the vibrato on the bend, because you're apt to. If it's not right, it'll sound horrendously out of tune. Okay, so vibrato to the beginning. Yeah, right. So arpeggios. I know I see you playing a load of minor arpeggios, sweep picking, and
I only know one.
Eh?
I only know one like this.
Oh right.
Sounds like you're practicing it though, mate. You got it down.
Yeah, I've been there for like half a year or something.
All right. Well, let's look at a quick fix for arpeggios to go to. Right. So if we're playing, seats for me. If we're playing in E, you've got 7 arpeggios at your disposal that you can use straight away. And the first one, if you look at in metal, there's a shape I think I've seen some of you playing. So this is like, I think of this as position number 1 for arpeggios to metal, and it starts on the 10th fret of the A. This is for. Yeah, you got that one. You sort of got that shape of it. That's a major arpeggio shape, right? But if you're playing in E minor, it'll be alright. Now, it's not minor 7. A lot of you guys will have seen sweep picking things, and then when you hear guitarists play it, they don't normally go back to the root note. But when people are learning, they play a, and and they end up stuck here again. So when you end up playing solos, what happens is they move around. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn 7 shapes to move around to not get stuck in this one shape of going back, because when you're back at the start again, you've got to have another shape to move to. But it's always better to move to your other shape somewhere else than where you're stuck at the same one. So the 7 arpeggios, if you like, for the key of E minor. Number 1 is starting on the 10th fret, and it's now the second shape is the same shape again, 2 frets up. Sorry, the wrong one. So, sorry, first one is it actually starts on the 6th fret. I've got it around the wrong way. Then you play the 3rd shape of the major arpeggio. Nicky's video in this is actually starts on the A string. That's a horrible big shape. You played that one already.
I love that one. That's my favourite.
That's your favourite one. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So that's a minor arpeggio, right? So the major arpeggio is B. Minor. So the major and the minor are the 2 things that we need to sort of get to grips with to start with on that. So you've got a major, arpeggio number 1, arpeggio number 2, arpeggio number 3, arpeggio number 4. Exactly the same shape again. So that means we could move from arpeggio number 1 that'd be linking 4 together, wouldn't it, in a solo? Now we don't have to use the whole of them. We can go up 1, then and go up and down loads of the other ones that we know. We can play them in any order as well, and they start to sound better than if you rake it and come all the way back to the same place, because usually people end up doing their sweep and they do they end up at the same place. It's like, now where do we go? So to go up 1, then back down another one is going to sound far more musical and interesting for us to do. So the 7 shapes: number 1, 2, 3, minor, 4, 5, and which is Seb's favourite one, a bit higher. Which has already been playing for many years. Now, if you can do what you've just done there, which was to play then move down to which I think you did, almost, I think, was playing those 2 shapes. So you can go so you can link those together in a solo, which is kind of what you're doing really. You're probably doing it without knowing the shapes, but you've already sort of done it in a way. So in the key of E, if you could just think to yourself, you've got 7 at any time disposable shapes to play. Now you can play them as 3-note shapes if you want in a solo, because you don't have to have all 5 shapes going at the same time. So you could just have you could use them to link bits of solos together. So you could have a run. You easier to travel around if you wanted that sort of thing. Now, there's a little bit of a thing going on about sweeping where there's economy picking and all sorts of other things going on, but a lot of players have kind of developed, not Steve Vai and players like that, they tend to sweep the first and then they legato the remaining notes, so they lose the sound. They lose the sound of the pick, so they get this. But there's no right hand, is there? So to get that thing going, you've got to do that. And what's going to happen is you're going to be developing you've lost a bit of the sound of the pick, which is nice. It's going to sound sweet, but you started off with the sweep. And that's all left-hand technique, which again is kind of using the best part of the sweep and then, you know, incorporating a bit of legato and left-hand technique with it. But when you've got that left hand working like as a and you can do it independently without your right hand, and it's a lot of hard work and it's a pain in the ass to perfect it, but it makes everything, you know, you can, I mean, he's playing it without the pick now because you've developed it. It starts to sound cleaner sounding, so you've got less of the pick attacking it, and it kind
Still
of
feels weird though.
I know, yeah. It's quite hard. That's the sort of thing, and it's just working to get all the notes out, you know. But once you can do that, you can, you know, like alleviate the sound of the pick. Now, like I was saying earlier on, playing your minor one, and then so if you looked at the first shape of that little trick of getting to here, and then the slide is almost part of it. Moving from one to another is really where it's at, guys, and not coming back down the same, because I mean, you did play it there, Seb, and you ended up back where you started again, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you really want to travel, don't you? That was great because you went from the top all the way down to the bottom, and that's great. And if you can fill the ones in between it makes a lovely little sweepy run. That's it. That's the sort of thing, yeah.
I've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. What you're doing there is brilliant, because many a time you find people have learned how to sweep pick and they're just playing a note,
repeat, don't they?
and
Like,
they're stopping it when they start playing, you know. It's the same lick. It's, so with the 7 that we've learned, which is we've got all of those 7 are available for you to go up one and travel down another. Try not to come down the same one each time, or do what a lot of players do, is they go up and then move, so they repeat the bottom, so they're only going up one. So that was 3 and 5 and 7 together. So we're nicking the last 2 arpeggios, and we're only playing the full arpeggio on the first one. But when you hear it played, it just sounds more musical than. It sounds like a typewriter exercise, sometimes going across and back and finishing on the starting note. And of course, if you're finishing on a if you played a, when you're here, you've got to slide back down. You've got to slide back down to another note. So the real, if you watch a lot of people that do it real, they play a note there, and then they slide on the bottom notes, because they always sound really sweet, and to get that that note of sliding sounds nicer into the next scale than going back into a bass note. So if you watch a lot of people that do the metal sweep picking, they tend to incorporate a little slide to move it on the higher strings because it just sounds smoother. But there's nothing wrong with going back on the same arpeggio, but I didn't want to get stuck into that because it just sounds like you've learnt an arpeggio and it's not as musical as it could be. Right, so we've got, out of all of this, the most important thing is the vibrato, it would appear. That it can be non-existent, but that just means you've got to listen to more blues, I'm afraid, Seb.
No, I don't think I'll do that.
Oh well, you know, or listen to, who else is Dimebag, listen to Dimebag, he's got a good vibrato. That one is the killer, really, in terms of like, it's the icing on the cake. And it does appear it's harder to pick it up than it is the sweeps and stuff like that.
Can I ask a bass player question?
Yeah.
What's going on?
At what point are you looking to bend up the note or down?
Oh yeah.
Is this just about which string, or is this for a
It's usually
different...
the bottom three are bent upwards, or the high three are bent upwards, but some players do bend that one, bend it that way, but the idea is that you should bend inwards on all the strings. That's the theory, but some people
As in
don't.
to the centre point of
Yeah.
the neck? Yeah.
It's
Okay.
better control. But I mean, obviously, if you get in the habit of bending down, it's going to go off the fretboard, isn't it? Off your bend the B string. So if you've got a habit of bending inside, then you can't really go wrong. And here, and then here, you've got no choice really. But that's kind of like the conventional way of doing it. But you know, I've seen Steve Vai sort of goes like that. I do.
Yeah.
You know, some people pretend that they think you did that, bent away from yourself.
Yeah,
but it's not wrong. It's just what you.
Yeah, I'll just bend these two up.
Yeah.
And the rest, I don't know why. It's just